Man, Taylor ain't playing no games. Taylor's trying to let Teofimo Lopez know, I guess, what he believes is going to happen um, if Teofimo Lopez moves up to 140 pounds. Whole thing has to do with the whole undisputed thing. The fact that, you know, Lomachenko didn't fight Devin Haney. So because he didn't fight Devin Haney, um, he ended up getting like this friend who was his mandatory. They gave him that franchise designation, and they let Devin Haney have the belt, the regular WBC belt. So obviously, Teofimo fights Lomachenko, but people are not looking at that fight as if it's a fight for undisputed, regardless of what the WBC or anybody else tries to say. People in general are not seeing that as undisputed. It's being disputed. That's the whole thing of undisputed. Terrence Crawford was undisputed at 140 pounds. No one was disputing who the champion was. In this one, somebody is. And that person is Devin Haney. So because of that, Taylor's saying like, yo, you need to take care of that business over there before you come up over here. You know, you thinking that, you know, after I fight Ramirez and I got all the belts, that I'm just going to fight you. You know, you got something else coming, that you need to prove yourself first to be who you say you are at 135 pounds. Then after that, when you move up, then then I'll fight you. You know, because quote, what do I have to gain by fighting you? You know, after I do become undisputed. Those are the things that Taylor's saying, you know. But, and it's nice, you know, to think that you have that pedestal or you have the ability to do those type of things or make those types of moves. But then eventually you have to come back into the reality of the world, you know, and come back into realities of who you're signed to. You being, when it comes to the American broadcaster being on ESPN, you being a top rank, you have your other promoter from the UK, but you are signed to Top Rank also as a fighter. You know, so you're going to do what the hell Top Rank says. You're going to do what Bob Arum says. That's what you're going to do. You know, you're going to do what ESPN wants you to do. Period. You know, and if you don't believe that, go ahead, try to make your own moves when it pertains to Bob Arum and see how that works out for you. You know, Bob Arum has ways around that. You have the what do you believe he has? The WBA and the WBO belt? Or was it the IBF belt? I believe the WBO belt. Because I believe Ramirez has the IBF and he has a WBC. So you have the WBA and you have the WBO. They'll just make Teofimo your mandatory, where you either fight him or you get stripped of your belt. You know? So the reality of the situation is, if Top Rank decides that you're going to fight Teofimo Lopez, you're going to fight Teofimo Lopez. There's nothing you can do about it, regardless of what might be happening with him. You know, regardless of what might be going on over there, you're going to have to fight him. You know, there's other guys coming up at 140, you know, that might become mandatory to your other belts and then put them into a vicarious situation also as well. You know, but for right now, they say you're going to fight Teal, you're going to fight Teal. And that's just the end of it. And, you know, I think it's also, you shouldn't just assume or make the assumption that you're going to beat Ramirez and that you're going to be the one that's undisputed. It wouldn't be wise to just make that assumption. You know, wouldn't be wise to do that. And on top of that, if whatever reason Top Rank thought that you weren't going to fight Teofimo Lopez, they just won't give you the Ramirez fight. And they'll just have Teofimo Lopez come up and fight for those two belts and unifies those two belts. And they'll put your ass to the damn side. They'll put your ass on the shelf. You know, they'll put your ass on the shelf. Bob Arum, Top Rank, they don't play. This is not PBC where fighters have a lot of say in what they can do and who they want to fight. Where if a fighter doesn't want to fight other fighters, you know, he just, you know, he doesn't have to fight them, and they'll set up other fights for you instead. This ain't that. You know, where they'll try to make the situation where it is so lucrative that, okay, then eventually you do the fight. This is not one of those situations, okay? You are signed to that promotional company in Top Rank, and they don't play those games, okay? And you don't believe they'll sit your ass down? Go ask Nicholas Walters. Go ask Jesse Vargas. Go ask Mikey Garcia. You know, go ask those guys. He does not care. He will put you down, okay, until you do what the hell he tells you to do. You know, and I'm not saying Taylor wouldn't beat Ramirez either, because I think Taylor will beat Ramirez. I don't know, he's been a little shaky, Ramirez, the last couple of fights. And I'm not sure if maybe he's having issues making weight or what exactly it might be. But I don't know, he's been looking a little shaky. You know, so I still got Taylor winning that fight, but this whole assumptions that you're going to be able to do whatever you want to do, it's just not going to happen at all. You know, I don't believe Teofimo Lopez is going to be fighting Devin Haney. I'm hearing different talks about, oh yeah, you know, that might be my next fight and this and that. I don't believe so. I believe he's going to fight a low tier fight at 135. And then after that, he might move up to 140, fight somebody else, and then fight Ramirez, Taylor winner. Or they might do it. They might have him stay down and fight maybe two low tier. Maybe after he fights the guy from Australia, whatever, which probably could end up being in the United States. Because I believe the guy is training in Florida. So if he's training in Florida, it's happening in the United States. And then after that fight, probably have I think he might end up having a rematch with, what's that guy? The guy he fought in Japan. I don't remember his name. Who just came off a spectacular victory, spectacular knockout. Katana, whatever the hell his name is, doesn't really matter. But I'll see him probably having a rematch against him. Then after doing something like that, then, you know, jumping up to 140 pounds. I believe one of the main things that they're waiting for is for all this to kind of clear up a little bit, where you can have fans and you can have a gate. Because I know whenever he does do that fight, I know they want him to be a big fight. I'm not even sure about the Ramirez versus Taylor fight. They might want to kind of hold that off until everything opens up. But eventually they're going to have to do the fights. I mean, you don't know when things are going to necessarily change. It might be 6 months. It might be a full year. You know, it might be a full year. It might be the next 24 months before everything turns back to the way that it is. So you just kind of holding on and waiting and trying to keep, you know, fights in the corner over here until things, quote, open up. I think it's it's a stupid way of doing things. And I think that's why when you see somebody like the PBC, they're just doing their fights. They're just keeping the fights rolling, you know. In the places, if they can, you know, find a situation where they can have a gate, great. Like they've been doing in Texas. Great, we can do that. But if not, they're going to just keep the ship rolling, you know. They're not going to just assume or wait or hope. That's not how they're rolling right now. But, hey, we'll see if everything that's Taylor's saying, you know, he somehow has the juice to make it, you know, come to fruition. But me personally, when I know about Top Rank and their history, the answer is no.